finding our comfortable seat with a blanket or cushion underneath the hips as needed. We'll begin rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. And when you're ready, gently float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gazing softly downward. Lift your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lifting your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. Take one more full deep breath. And then let's bring the right hand, middle and pointer fingers to between the eyebrows, ring finger and thumb on either side of the nose, and we'll move into alternate nostril breath, Nadi Shodhana. Taking that breath in and out again. As you come to your next inhale, gently closing the right nostril, inhaling through the left. Switch and exhale through the right. Inhale right, exhale left. Follow your breath. Do one more full round. And when you reach the end of the exhale on the left side, gently return to your natural breath as you float the hand down. Noticing any changes you feel in your mind or body, remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. And bring your awareness to your right hand, allowing the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. And bring those fingertips to your heart center, turning your attention deeper inward towards your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. And then we'll gently switch our legs if that feels comfortable for you, or change positions. With your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by your ears. And exhale, bringing the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down, tucking the shoulder blades back and down, lifting the heart. Gently squeezing the muscles around the shoulder blades, holding them in place, strengthening them. And then let's bring the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension. Open the arms wide, turn the palms up, lifting the heart a little more if that feels okay. Tucking the shoulder blades down so you're drawing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. Letting the pectoral muscles in the chest open and release. And if it feels okay, flexing through the wrists, pressing through the palms. And then let's bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Oh, I forgot to say also bringing your hands at the shoulders if that feels better than wrapping the wrists. And then gently lowering and lifting the elbows with the breath. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay, lifting the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round, dropping the arms down, being careful of the low back. And then inhaling back to the center. We're going to extend the right arm, bring the left hand to the right shoulder, and we'll draw that right arm across the body. You can open the fingers wide, reaching through the fingertips. And if it feels okay, you could turn your chin over your right shoulder. And then we'll come back to center and release, opening the arms wide, pressing through the palms, drawing those lower corners of the shoulder blades down. And then arms extend in front, crossing the left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing into the upper back. And if it feels okay with your breath, beginning to lower and lift the elbows. And with your next inhaling breath, lifting the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And exhale, rounding the spine, dropping the chin and the arms. And with your next inhale, lift back to center. And gently oh wait, not all the way. Unwrap the arms, left arm extends out, right hand to the left shoulder. Stretching that arm across the body, opening the fingers wide. And then if it feels okay, turning your chin over the left shoulder. And with your next inhale, release, and we'll just open wide. And then let's make some circles with the wrist. And reverse those circles. And we'll bring the hands to the heart. Interlace the fingers, press the palms out in front, roll the shoulders forward, round the spine, drop the chin. With your next inhale, lift the palms up, gently arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time, as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin toward the chest. Softening the elbows, roll the shoulder blades back toward each other, gently squeezing the upper corners of the shoulder blades together, wringing out any tension. Softening the jaw, releasing through the back of the neck. And if it feels okay, you could press the palms a little higher. With your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, float the hands down. Let's bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the right, head comes around left. Lifting the heart with the inhale, gently twisting through the exhale. Keeping the left hand on the knee. With your next inhale, bring the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Dropping the right hip toward the mat, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And with the next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale back to the center, taking a breath in and out. We'll bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the left. Head comes around last. Lifting the heart with your inhaling breath. Gently twisting through the exhale. Hold and breathe. Keeping the right hand on the knee. With your next inhale, bring the left arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Left hip drops toward the mat, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. Placing the hands on the knees, let's make some big circles with our torso, reaching those ribs out to the sides. So opening the hips, loosening up the low back. And the next time you're in the center, you can switch directions. And then coming back to center, take a breath in and out. Then let's extend the legs out in front of us. Scooting the feet down toward the end of the mat. Gently flexing the feet so the toes are pointing toward the ceiling. Hands either on the mat beside you or resting on the thighs, whatever feels best for you. We'll engage the quadriceps, drawing the kneecaps up. And then if it feels okay, you can engage a little more to lift the heels off the floor, being careful not to hyperextend the back of the knees. Lengthening through the torso, reaching through the heel, belly muscles are strong. And with your next exhale, we'll soften. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, gently folding forward, just as far as feels okay. Hands on the legs, floor, or feet. Being careful of your low back. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, softening those knees. And as you exhale, releasing. Following your breath, lengthening and softening. Breathing into those places of tightness or tension. Softening around them with kindness for your own body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll bring the hands behind the hips, fingertips facing the hips. Can work with inclined plane by lifting the hips high with the legs extended, or bend the knees, placing the feet on the mat, hip width apart, and lifting here. So doing what feels right for you today. I'm going to try inclined plane today. We'll see how much energy I have. Let's bend those elbows, rolling the shoulder blades back toward each other. With your next inhaling breath, lift the hips high, keeping the elbows slightly bent. Exhale, gently lower and hover if that feels okay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down or rest. Pressing the hips high, elbows stay slightly bent, head extends out from the spine or chin toward the chest. Take one more breath. And with your next exhale, gently lower down. And we'll shake out those wrists. Let's bring the feet into just a gentle Baddha Konasana butterfly. Let's give the feet just a little massage. You can start at the heels, rubbing the thumbs in circles on the heels. And then going on through the inside of the arch, sliding from the heel all the way up to the big toe. Just trying it with my socks on. I'm going to have to do it with them off. Probably depends on the sock. Just really sliding that thumb all the way up to the big toe. And moving inside a little bit. Sliding up to the second toe. And when you're ready, moving in a little more to the middle toe. And then to the ring toe. And then on the outer edge of the foot, all the way up to the pinky toe. And then anywhere that just feels like it needs a little extra TLC, you can just massage with your thumbs. Making sure you get to the base of those toes, and you can even give a little tug on the toes, stretch them out. And then maybe just offer our feet a little gratitude for all that they do for us all day long, much of which we don't notice. All right, then we'll bring our knees back together, come to the center of the mat. Rounding the spine, we'll gently roll back, extending the legs out, tucking the shoulders under. Gently scanning up the body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time we do yoga, our bodies are a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Lengthen through the neck. Soften around the right hip. Keeping the left hand on the knee, allow the right arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And with your exhale, gently twist over the left side of the body. Vision toward the right arm, as much as feels okay for your neck. Release the muscles around the hip. Easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhale, come back to the center, extending your leg up toward the sky, taking hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel. Gently drop the sitting bones down, arching the low back as you reach through the heel and lengthen the back of the leg. And then we'll tuck the pelvis, drawing the belly muscles down toward the back, drawing the leg toward the body just as far as feels okay. Continuing to reach through the heel, belly muscles draw down. Stay here, or if it feels okay with your exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. If it feels okay, you could flex the left foot, lift the leg off the floor a little bit. And you can stay here or release the hands from the leg. Using those belly muscles to strengthen and stabilize. Lowering the left leg. Inhale, lowering the head and chest. Exhale, slowly lowering the right leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. Let's bend the left leg, floating the hands to the knee. Shoulders tuck under. Neck is nice and long. Soften around the left hip. Keeping the the right hand on the knee. Allow the left arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And as you exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Vision toward the left arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Release the muscles around the hip, easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Extending the leg up toward the sky, take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. Exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath. And then begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, Stretching the foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Then reaching through the heel, dropping the sitting bones down, gently arching the low back. And then tucking the pelvis, drawing the belly muscles toward the back and the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. Reaching through the heel, belly muscles are strong. Stay here, or if it feels okay with your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. If you'd like to add a little extra challenge, you can flex the right foot, lifting it off of the floor. And you can keep the hands on the leg or release them. Neck is nice and long, belly muscles are drawn down strongly, reaching through the heels. Gently lowering the right leg. Inhale, lowering the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the left leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. And let's bend our knees, placing the feet on the floor, hip width apart, and walking them as close toward the hips as feels comfortable as we move into bridge pose. Tucking the shoulders under, arms alongside the body, palms facing down. Let's work a little with the bridge vinyasa today. So we'll kind of come up and down and move our arms in some different places. So keeping them where they are at the moment. We'll inhale, scooping the pelvis, rolling the spine up. And exhale, gently lowering the spine down. Inhale, scoop and lift. Keeping our vision toward the ceiling, knees parallel. Exhale, gently lower. This time as you inhale, lift the arms up over the head, resting them on the mat, and let the spine come up tall. The hips come up high, sorry. Exhale, gently lowering, keeping the arms over the head. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently lower, and we'll bring our hands to the thighs. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently lower, and let the arms fall out to a T. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently lower. We'll bring the arms back alongside the body. Inhale, scoop and lift. Can hold and breathe for a moment if you like, or continue coming up and down or rest. And when you're ready with your exhale, gently lowering down. We'll take a breath in and out. Another breath in. As you exhale, tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat, belly muscles engage. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. And let the breath go. Let's walk our feet a little further out to the edges of the mat. And gently begin to kind of windshield wiper our knees from one side to the other. You can move your arms away from the body if that feels better. Kind of releasing a little more through the hips. And a little stretch in those IT bands on the outside of the thighs. And the next time your legs are on the left side, go ahead and just rest there for a moment. Seeing where you can let go and lengthen. If it feels okay, you could bring the left ankle on top of the right knee gently, allowing a little extra pressure to stretch that IT band as well as the hip flexor there. Only do that if it feels okay. And if you'd like, you could bring that right arm above the head, reaching it toward the wall behind you, extending the stretch a little more. And we'll bring the arm back down, release that left ankle, coming back to the center and dropping the knees to the right. And letting them rest there. Or if it feels okay, lifting that right ankle and resting it on the outside of the left knee, if it feels okay to have that little extra stretch. Allowing our breath to be slow and deep, releasing with the breath. And if it feels okay, reaching that left arm up above the head, extending the stretch a little more. And releasing the ankle from the knee. We'll come back to the center. Let's bring both knees over the torso into Apanasana. Breathing into the belly. From here, you can either roll to your right side, pressing up with your hands, or slip your hands behind your knees, kick your feet over your head, and gently rock up. Let's come forward onto our hands and knees. Bringing our hands under our shoulders, knees under the hips. Softening the elbows so the inner elbows are facing each other. Tucking the shoulder blades down the back, lengthening through the spine. Belly muscles draw up toward the back, strong table pose. And with your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath. And with your next inhale, come back to table pose. Let's come down onto our forearms, interlacing the fingers, making a little triangle with our hands and elbows. And then let's reach back through the right foot, tucking those toes under. And then reach back through the left, coming into a modified plank. If that feels like too much today, go ahead and lower the knees. Continue to work on pressing into those elbows, developing that upper body strength, but just with the knees down. So knees down or knees up, whichever feels right for you today. Shoulder blades are tucked back and down. Head is extended out. Belly muscles are drawn up. And bring the knees down if they aren't already, and then lower the hips the rest of the way. We'll bring our elbows underneath the shoulders, hands extending straight out in front of them, spreading the fingertips wide into Sphinx pose. We'll zip the legs together if that feels okay. For a moment, just release the muscles, letting the bones do the work of holding you up. Notice how that feels. And starting with the top of the feet, let's press the top of the feet into the mat, noticing how the leg muscles begin to engage. Then press the pelvic bone into the mat, noticing the glutes engaging. Gently begin to lift the heart, tucking the shoulders. Press into the elbows, shoulder blades tucked back and down. Press into the fingertips. And envision reaching back through the toes, and then feeling that energy come all the way up through the spine and reaching through the crown. Strengthening through the whole body. And with your next exhale, soften. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press the hips back to the heels, rounding into child's pose or coming into reclined puppy, whichever feels right for your body today, knees and back. So for child's pose, rounding that spine, forehead resting on the mat or onto stacked fists or a block. For reclined puppy, hips stacked over the knees, forehead to the mat. Whichever version feels right for you in this moment. Breathing into the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. See if you can release a little more, allowing the earth to support your entire body. And with your next inhale, let's gently roll back to table pose. Tucking the toes under, we'll walk the hands out a couple of inches and press the hips up and back into downward dog. Softening the knees, rolling the shoulder blades back toward each other. Head extends out between the arms with the chin gently away from the chest. Pressing back through the hips, knees are nice and soft. And then as it feels okay, you can let the heels lengthen down and the legs lengthen. Careful not to lock the knees. Rooting through the palms of the hands and the fingertips. Rooting through the balls of the feet. And lifting up through the sitting bones as though there were a string on your tailbone pulling it straight up toward the sky. One more breath. Now let's gently walk our hands toward our feet, coming into Uttanasana, forward bend. Softening the knees, releasing the back of the head, pressing the hips up toward the sky, just as far as feels okay. Bending the knees, dropping the hips. Let's lift the heart and the torso up, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose, hands to the heart. Reaching back through the sitting bones. Pressing actively into both feet, engaging those outer hips, engaging the inner quads. Can stay here, or if it feels okay, you could bring the elbows out to cactus or the arms over the head if that feels okay for your shoulders. One more breath. And we'll fold back over. Reaching through the hips. One more forward bend. And with your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head. And exhale, hands to the heart. Taking a breath in and out. All right, let's work with a standing knee to chest again for our balance pose. So if you would like to have your wall for support, have it at your back. So we'll find our balance on both feet, coming to our steady mountain pose. Feet are hip width apart. Spine tall, shoulders back and down. Belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes and spread them wide as you lower them down. Rooting into the feet, finding a focus spot for your gaze. We'll shift our weight to the left leg, having that knee slightly bent. We'll come up to the big toe of the right foot. Stay here or work with balance by lifting the toe, bending the ankle. If that feels steady, you could lift the knee, interlacing the fingers. If you feel okay here, you want to go bringing the knee into the chest. You can do that. Keeping that left knee slightly bent. If it feels okay, you could bring the hand underneath the foot or underneath the thigh as you work with extension. Again, only if that feels all right. You can also have a strap over the sole of the foot here as well. And if you're feeling extra steady today, you can play with folding over the leg with your focus spot. Shifting, that makes it a little trickier. Yep, I thought I could hold it. It's also harder on the carpet. It's more work for your vestibular system, which is good, but it's a little trickier. So holding as long as feels comfortable. And when you're ready, gently lowering down. All right, we'll find our balance on both feet again. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. Rooting into the feet, lifting up through the crown of the head. We'll shift our weight to the right leg and come up to the big toe of the left foot. Again, working with balance here by lifting the toe or lifting the knee, interlacing the fingers in front of the knee. Keeping that right knee slightly bent. If it feels okay, bringing the knee into the chest. Shoulders are back and down, belly is strong. And if you'd like to play around with the extension, bringing the hand underneath the thigh and extending, or bringing the hands under the sole of the foot, or using a strap and extending the leg out. And again, if it feels okay, you could play around with lowering the torso, shifting the focus spot toward the floor. And listening to your body when you're ready, coming down and shaking out those legs. All right, let's bring our legs nice and wide. And let's turn the right foot to point toward the short end of the mat. Left heel drops back at a 45-degree angle. Work with Trikonasana, so our hips are going to face the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, the left hip shifts toward the side. Right arm reaches across the body and then floats toward the leg. Sorry, across the room. Left arm up toward the sky if that feels okay for your shoulder, or bring the hand to the low back. And if you notice that your torso is kind of facing the floor, lift up a little higher so that the torso can face the wall in front of you. Soften through the hamstrings of that right leg. Make sure the back leg is engaged, drawing that kneecap up with the quadriceps. Lengthen through the spine. And with your next inhale, press into the feet, lift up tall, arms out. We'll exhale, bending that right knee. Forearm to the thigh, left arm over the left ear if that feels okay for your shoulder, or again, keep the hand at the low back. Torso faces the wall in front of us, rotating those ribs and shoulder back as needed. And with your next inhale, turn to face the mat, sweep that left arm across, lifting up tall and floating the hands down. We'll switch our legs. Left foot toward the short end of the mat. Right heel drops back at a 45-degree angle. Hips face the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Pressing the right hip out to the side, reach the left arm across the room, and then drop the hand down toward the leg. Right arm comes up toward the sky, or right hand to the low back, depending on how your shoulder's feeling. Rotating the torso to face the wall, Coming up a little higher if that is needed in order to get parallel to the wall. Soften through the hamstrings of the left leg. Lengthen through the right side of the body. And with your next inhale, press into the feet and lift up tall. Exhale, bend the left knee, forearm to the thigh. Right arm over the right ear if that feels okay for your shoulder, or keeping that right hand at the low back. Again, rotating the torso to face the wall, pressing through the right heel, engaging the quadriceps of the right leg, lengthen through the side body. And with your next inhale, we'll turn to face the mat, sweep the right hand across, bringing the arms out at shoulder height, and exhale, floating the hands down. Let's bring the feet to face the long end of the mat. We'll inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, swan dive, hips out behind us. And as you exhale, float the hands down. Bending the knees as much as feels okay for you right now. We'll press into both feet and lift the sitting bones up toward the sky. Lengthen through the spine and the back of the neck. Drawing the chin gently toward the throat. Lengthening in all directions. If it feels okay, you could walk your hands toward the right leg. Hands on the floor block or leg. Turning the torso to face the thigh as you lengthen down over the leg. Right foot pushes into the mat. Right hip reaches up toward the sky. And we'll come back to the center and across to the left. Hands on the floor block or leg. Turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthening down over the leg. Left foot pushes into the mat as the left hip reaches up toward the sky. And we'll gently come back to the center. Let's place the left hand under our line of vision. And if it feels okay with your next inhale, sweep the right arm up toward the sky, gently twisting through the torso. Neck stays nice and long, chin away from the chest. And we'll float the hand down. Right hand comes under the line of vision. With your next inhaling breath, sweep the left arm up, lengthening through the spine, tucking the left shoulder blade. Head extends out, twisting through the ribs. And floating the hand down. Let's walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. If you'd like to use a block in the center behind the heels, place it there. Lower the hips down, coming into a high malasana if that feels okay. Or lowering the hips to the block or near the heels, or coming all the way to the mat, walking the feet a little further apart, pressing the elbows into the thighs or knees here. From whichever position, lengthen the spine, tuck the shoulder blades, soften through the hips. And then we'll gently release, bringing the soles of the feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana. This time drawing the heels in toward the torso or the body just as far as feels okay. Hands can be at the ankles or toes. I grabbed the opposite part of what I was saying, which confused me. All right, let's press the feet together, gently bringing the inner groin muscles or engaging the inner groin muscles, lifting the knees. And with your next exhale, let's soften and engage those outer hip muscles to draw the knees down gently. Stay here, or if it feels okay, lift the heart, tilt the pelvis forward, and extend the spine out over the feet. Keeping the spine nice and long. Softening through the inner groin and the hips. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And we'll bring the knees together, rounding the spine, dropping the chin, gently hugging the knees in. And then we'll come back to a cross-legged position. Shoulders back and down, spine up tall. With your next inhaling breath, reach through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Tuck the right shoulder back and down, breathing into the left side of the neck. Heart stays lifted even though the head is tilted. Bring the left hand to the mat, gently walking the fingers away just as far as feels okay, adding a little extra stretch. Releasing the left hand with your next inhale, come back to the center. As you exhale, drop the left ear over the left shoulder, tucking that left shoulder back and down, breathing into the right side of the neck. Heart stays lifted. And if it feels okay, bringing the right hand to the mat, gently walking the fingertips away, adding a little extra stretch if that feels okay. And with your next inhale, releasing the hand, coming back to the center. Exhale, turning the chin over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, the chin over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. And let the breath go. Let's gently bend the knees in front of us, coming to the center of the mat. Rounding the spine, dropping the chin, gently roll back, engaging those belly muscles, lengthening the spine, shoulders tuck under, arms alongside the body. We'll bend the knees, lifting the feet up toward the sky. Can rock your hands or a block underneath the hips to support the legs. Ankles and knees are relaxed as you breathe into the belly. Bend the knees, rocking the hands or block out from underneath the hips. Hugging the knees in toward the torso. You can gently rock from side to side, massaging the low back if that feels okay. Or if you would like, you can bring the knees in and out, making small circles with the low back. And reversing the circles. And if you like one last twist, bringing the arms out at shoulder height, knees together. Dropping the knees to the right, vision to the left. Inhaling to the center. Exhale, dropping the knees to the left, vision to the right. And with your next inhale, coming back to the center. Lowering the feet down. You could either walk your feet apart, resting the knees together, or extend the legs out, adding a bolster or blanket underneath underneath the knees, if that feels better for your low back. If it's cool where you are, covering up a little bit to keep the warmth in the body as we move into relaxation. Tucking the shoulders under, arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Allow each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allow allowing each exhale to release anything no longer needed. Release the muscles from the bones, surrendering them to the earth. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself, sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body. Honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our communities, and for ourselves. Thank you all so much for joining me today and taking some time for yourselves.